Stop scrolling. Listen carefully. This might be the message that changes everything for you. Right now, while you're waiting for motivation, for help, for the perfect moment. Life is moving forward without you. Every second you hesitate is a second you can never get back. And here's the truth most people avoid. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not luck. It's just you. And the sooner you accept that, the more powerful you become. There comes a moment in life when you realize that waiting is a silent killer. Waiting for approval, waiting for opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that time is the only thing you truly own, and wasting it is the greatest loss. When you focus on yourself, your growth, your discipline, your mindset, everything begins to change. Not overnight, but inevitably. Most people live distracted lives. They chase validation, compare themselves to others, and lose themselves in noise. But focusing on yourself requires courage. It means turning off the distractions and facing your reality. It means asking yourself hard questions. Who are you becoming? Are your daily actions aligned with the life you say you want? Or are you just passing time, hoping things will somehow work out? The truth is harsh but freeing. Nobody owes you anything. The world does not pause for your struggles. And while that may sound cold, it's actually empowering. Because if no one is coming to save you, then you are free to become your own savior. You don't need permission to start. You don't need perfect conditions. You only need a decision. When you begin to focus on yourself, you reclaim your power. You stop blaming others. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting. Instead, you act. You build habits that move you forward. You invest in your mind. You strengthen your discipline. And slowly, you become someone you respect. Stoic philosophy teaches us to control what we can and accept what we cannot. You cannot control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control opportunities, but you can prepare yourself for them. You cannot control time passing, but you can control how you use it every day as a test. A test of your focus, your discipline, your commitment. Will you waste it, or will you use it? The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent. It's consistency. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the work even when no one is watching. If you keep waiting for the right moment, you will be waiting forever. The perfect moment does not exist. The only moment that matters is now, right now. You have a choice. You can continue the same patterns, or you can decide to change. And that decision, that single shift in mindset, can transform your entire life. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. When you become stronger, more disciplined, more aware, you don't just improve your life, you inspire others to do the same. Your growth becomes a signal that change is possible. Imagine who you could become if you stopped wasting time. If you replaced distraction with purpose. If you replaced excuses with action. That version of you already exists. It's just waiting for you to step into it. But here's the truth most people ignore. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice. It requires letting go of habits, people, and mindsets that hold you back. It requires you to stand alone sometimes. But that is the price of becoming who you are meant to be, so stop waiting. Stop looking around for someone to rescue you. Look within. Everything you need to start is already there. Strength, resilience, potential, it's all inside you. You just have to activate it right now, while you're waiting for motivation, for help, for the perfect moment. Life is moving forward without you. Every second you hesitate is a second you can never get back. And here's the truth most people avoid. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not luck. It's just you. And the sooner you accept that, the more powerful you become. Let that sink in. No one is coming. Not because you don't matter, but because life doesn't work that way. The world rewards action, not intention. And most people are stuck in intention. They think about changing, talk about changing, plan to change, but they never actually move. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and suddenly they look back wondering where all the time went. Time doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your fears, your doubts, or your excuses. It keeps moving. And if you're not moving with it, you're being left behind. This is why focusing on yourself is not optional, it's survival. It's the difference between living a life of purpose and living a life of regret. Most people waste time in ways they don't even realize. Endless scrolling, comparing their lives to others, waiting for validation, overthinking every decision until they do nothing at all. It feels harmless in the moment, but over time, it destroys your potential. Because while you're distracted, someone else is building. While you're hesitating, someone else is executing. The Stoics understood something most people today ignore. Your life is shaped by what you do daily. Not occasionally. Not when you feel like it, but every single day. Discipline is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Small actions repeated over time create massive results. When you decide to focus on yourself, everything begins to shift. You stop seeking approval from people who don't truly care. You stop wasting energy on things outside your control. You stop chasing distractions and start building direction. And slowly, you begin to respect yourself. Self-respect is built through action. Not words. Not promises. Action. When you say you'll do something and you actually do it, you strengthen your mind. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And that changes everything. But here's where most people fail. They expect motivation to come first. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they feel confident. But confidence doesn't come before action, it comes because of action. You don't feel your way into discipline. You act your way into it. This is why waiting is so dangerous. Waiting feels safe. It feels comfortable. But it's actually a trap. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. The more you delay, the more doubt grows. And before you know it, you've built a life around avoiding discomfort instead of embracing growth. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires effort. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to face parts of yourself you've been avoiding. But that discomfort is where transformation happens. That's where strength is built. That's where your true potential is unlocked. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to wake you up every day and force you to become better. That responsibility is yours. And once you accept that, you become unstoppable. Imagine waking up every day with a clear purpose. No confusion. No hesitation. Just focus. You know what needs to be done, and you do it not because you feel like it, but because you've trained yourself to act regardless of how you feel. That's power. Most people are controlled by their emotions. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel unmotivated, they quit. If something gets hard, they walk away. But when you focus on yourself and build discipline, you flip that equation. You act despite your emotions. You move forward even when it's difficult. And that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Focusing on yourself also means protecting your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your reaction. The more you grow, the more selective you must become. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. And where you invest it determines your future. Think about where your time goes every day. Are you investing it in things that move you forward? Or are you wasting it on things that keep you stuck? This is a question only you can answer, but it's one you must answer honestly. Because the truth is, your future is being created right now in this moment. In the choices you make today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what is within your control. Your thoughts, your actions, your effort, everything else is secondary. When you adopt this mindset, you stop worrying about things you can't change. And you start maximizing the things you can. This brings clarity. It brings focus. It brings peace. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start. Take one step, then another, then another. Progress builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. But you must start. Right now, there is a version of you that is stronger, more disciplined, more focused. That version of you is not a dream, it's a decision. It exists on the other side of your excuses, on the other side of your comfort zone. The question is, are you willing to become that person? Or will you continue to wait? Because waiting is easy. Waiting requires nothing, but becoming requires everything. And if you're still here, still listening, then you already know the answer. You're ready for more. You're ready to change. You're ready to take control of your life. So take that step. Start small if you have to, but start. There is something dangerous about comfort that most people never realize. It doesn't feel like an enemy. It doesn't look like failure. In fact, it feels good. It feels safe. And that's exactly why it traps so many people for years. Comfort tells you that you can start tomorrow. It tells you that you deserve a break. It tells you that things will somehow work out even if you don't change anything. But comfort is a liar. It slowly steals your ambition, your hunger, and your sense of urgency. And the longer you stay in that comfort zone, the harder it becomes to leave it. The Stoics warned about this in their own way. They believed that a man who avoids hardship weakens himself. Because without challenge, there is no growth. Without resistance, there is no strength. Think about it: every skill you admire, every person you respect, every achievement you dream of, none of it was built in comfort. It was built in moments of difficulty. In moments where quitting would have been easier, but they chose to continue. So if your life feels stagnant, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're not moving forward, the answer is not more comfort. The answer is challenge. The answer is discipline. The answer is doing what is difficult, even when you don't feel like it, because that is where transformation begins. Another truth you must accept is this: distractions are designed to keep you average. Look around. Everywhere you turn, something is fighting for your attention. Social media, entertainment, endless content. None of it is inherently bad, but too much of it becomes poison. It drains your focus. It weakens your ability to think deeply. It keeps you busy, but not productive. And the worst part, it feels like you're doing something, when in reality, you're standing still. Focusing on yourself means cutting through that noise. It means choosing growth over entertainment. It means choosing purpose over comfort. And that choice must be made daily. Not once. Not occasionally. Daily. Because the world is constantly pulling you away from your path. If you don't actively choose your direction, you will drift into distraction. And drifting leads nowhere. You must become intentional. Intentional about how you spend your time. Intentional about what you consume. Intentional about who you surround yourself with. Because your environment shapes you more than you realize. If you spend your time around people who complain, you will begin to complain. If you surround yourself with people who lack discipline, your discipline will weaken. But if you immerse yourself in growth, in learning, in action, you will begin to rise. This is why focusing on yourself sometimes requires distance. Not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. You cannot grow in an environment that constantly pulls you back. And this is where many people struggle. They don't want to let go of what's familiar. Even if it's holding them back. Even if it's keeping them stuck. But growth requires letting go of habits that waste your time. Letting go of relationships that drain your energy. Letting go of mindsets that limit your potential. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Because every level of your life will demand a different version of you. The version of you that stays distracted cannot build a focused life. The version of you that avoids discipline cannot achieve meaningful success. The version of you that waits cannot lead. You must evolve, and evolution is a choice. Every morning you wake up, you are given a new opportunity. Not to wish for change, but to create it through your actions. Through your mindset, through your decisions. This is where your power lies. Not in what you say you'll do, but in what you actually do. And the truth is, most people underestimate the power of small actions. They think they need to do something big, something dramatic, something life-changing overnight. But real change doesn't work like that. It starts small. Waking up earlier. Staying consistent. Doing what needs to be done, even when it's boring. Even when it's repetitive. Even when no one is watching. Because success is built in silence. It's built in the moments when you choose discipline over distraction. When you choose effort over excuses. When you choose growth over comfort. And over time, those small choices compound. They turn into habits. Those habits turn into identity. And that identity shapes your life. This is why focusing on yourself is the most important decision you can make. Because when you change yourself, everything else begins to change. Your mindset becomes stronger. Your actions become sharper. Your confidence becomes real, not based on external validation, but on internal proof. And that kind of confidence cannot be taken away. But let's be honest, this path is not easy. There will be days when you feel tired. Days when you feel unmotivated. Days when you question whether it's worth it, and in those moments, you must remember this: discipline is not about feeling good. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Feelings are temporary, but the results of your actions are lasting. So when you feel like quitting, don't. When you feel like delaying, act. When you feel like giving up, push forward. Because every time you do, you are strengthening your mind. You are proving to yourself that you are in control. And that is the ultimate goal. Control over your mind. Control over your actions. Control over your life. Not control over everything. That's impossible. But control over what matters. And what matters is you. Your effort. Your focus. Your discipline. Everything else is secondary. So stop looking outside for answers. Stop waiting for someone to guide you. Stop hoping for a breakthrough without putting in the work. Be your own breakthrough. Be the person who takes action when others hesitate. Be the person who stays focused when others get distracted. Be the person who builds while others wait. Because in the end, that's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Not luck, not talent, but action. Relentless, consistent action. And if you can commit to that, if you can truly focus on yourself and stop wasting time, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So take this message seriously. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. There is a silent shift that happens when you finally decide to take full responsibility for your life. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. No one claps. No one notices at first. But inside you, something changes. You stop blaming. You stop complaining. You stop waiting. And in that moment, you become dangerous, in the best way possible. Because a person who takes responsibility cannot be controlled by excuses anymore. They cannot be held back by circumstances. They begin to see every obstacle as something to overcome, not something to hide behind. This is where real power begins. Most people spend their lives trying to control things they cannot control. They worry about opinions. They stress about outcomes. They fear rejection. But all of that is wasted energy. The Stoics taught that peace comes from focusing only on what is within your control. And when you truly understand that, your life becomes simpler. Not easier, but clearer. You no longer chase everything. You focus on what matters. You no longer react to everything. You choose your response. You no longer waste time trying to fix others. You improve yourself. And that clarity gives you an edge that most people never develop. Because while they are distracted, you are focused. While they are complaining, you are building. While they are waiting, you are becoming. But let's go deeper. There will be moments when you feel alone on this path. Moments when it seems like no one understands your vision. Moments when the people around you don't support your growth. That's part of the journey. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the next level. And that's okay. Because focusing on yourself sometimes means walking alone. It means trusting your path even when it's quiet, even when it's uncertain, even when it's uncomfortable. That's what makes it powerful. Because when you finally reach a higher level, you won't just have results, you'll have strength. Real strength. The kind that cannot be shaken by opinions or circumstances. And that strength comes from consistency. Doing the work every day. Showing up when it's hard. Staying focused when it would be easier to drift. Consistency is what builds identity. And identity is what shapes your life. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you will quit. If you see yourself as someone who delays, you will delay. But if you build the identity of someone disciplined, focused, and relentless, you will act that way naturally. That's why every small action matters. Every time you choose discipline, you reinforce that identity. Every time you choose focus, you strengthen that mindset. Every time you choose growth, you step closer to your potential. And over time, those small choices create a completely different version of you. A version that no longer waits. A version that no longer wastes time. A version that understands that no one is coming, and doesn't need anyone to. This is the version of you that wins. Not because life becomes easy, but because you become stronger. And strength changes everything. It changes how you think. It changes how you act. It changes how you respond to challenges. Instead of avoiding difficulty, you face it. Instead of fearing failure, you learn from it. Instead of waiting for opportunity, you create it. That is the mindset of someone who cannot be stopped. But here's something important you must remember. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming better. You will still make mistakes. You will still have bad days. You will still feel doubt. But the difference is, you won't stay there. You won't let one bad moment turn into a bad life. You will reset. You will refocus. You will continue. Because that's what disciplined people do. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on standards. Standards for how they live. Standards for how they act. Standards for who they are becoming. And those standards keep them moving forward, no matter what. So ask yourself this question. What are your standards? Not your goals. Not your dreams. Your standards. Because your life will always rise or fall to the level of your standards. If your standard is comfort, you will stay comfortable and stuck. If your standard is growth, you will grow, even when it's hard. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make every single day. Not once, every day. So stop wasting time. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop hoping that things will change without effort. Be the reason things change. Take control of your time. Take control of your focus. Take control of your life. Because at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. And that is not something to fear. That is something to embrace. Because it means your future is in your hands. It means your growth is your responsibility. It means your success is your decision. And once you truly understand that, everything becomes possible. So start now. Not later. Not when you feel ready. Now. Take that first step. Then the next. Then the next. Keep going. Keep building. Keep becoming. And one day, you'll look back at this moment, the moment you decided to stop waiting, and you'll realize this is where everything changed. And if you've made it this far, if this message has sparked something inside you, then don't let it fade away. Take action. Subscribe to this channel right now for more powerful, life-changing content based on Stoic philosophy, discipline, and self-mastery. Because this is not just a video. This is a new direction. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, no one is coming to save you. That's why you must become unstoppable.